The next preposition we will study is the preposition with. The preposition with describes the subject and the object as a unit. The subject and the object are described to be very close to each other. The subject and the object are described to work as a unit. How close the subject and the object, mediated by the preposition, is the standard to discern the difference between the prepositions with, by, and beside. Let's start to study from the preposition with. The speaker signifies in the perspective of the subject that the object of the preposition exists close to the subject of the preposition, and the subject and the object fuse into a unit. There is a word, fuse. We can even think that the subject and the object of the preposition are fused. There is a class, I take a class with a bottle of coffee. So, according to the definition of the preposition with, we can set the subject, a class, and the object, a bottle of coffee, as a unit. The subject, a class, and the object, a bottle of coffee, of the preposition with, consists of a unit. The speaker as the subject of the clause conveys the condition indicated by the transitive verb take to the unit as the object of the preposition. As the object of the transitive verb take. Because the subject and the object are very close, we can think that the definition of the transitive verb take is conveyed, is delivered to the unity together. The next preposition we will study is the preposition by. The speaker applies the preposition by in the perspective of the subject of the preposition to signify the relationship that the object of the preposition is next to the subject of the preposition. The preposition by describes the subject close to the object, but the subject and the object do not form a unity. The preposition by mediates the relationship that the subject and the object coexist closely but are not fused into one, while remaining each trait. There's a clause, he builds a tower by a market. We can think that a tower is constructed distinctively close to the object of market. The speaker signifies in the perspective of the subject, a tower of the preposition, that the object or market of the preposition is next to the subject of the preposition. Because of the fact that the preposition mediates the relationship between the subject and the object, the speaker reveals that the subject, a tower, and the object, a market, remain their traits and coexist. The next preposition we will study is the preposition beside. The speaker applies the preposition beside to signify the relationship with the object of preposition that coexists with the subject of the preposition as a distinctive unit. The definition of the preposition beside is close to the definition of the preposition by, rather than the definition of the preposition with. The adjacency between the subject and the object described by the prepositions by and beside is similar. The preposition by describes the integration between the subject and the object. The preposition beside does not describe the integration between the subject and the object. There is an example. These explanations are a bit strict. Explanation to differentiate the two prepositions. There is a clause. There is a present beside the pillow. The speaker applies the preposition beside to signify the relationship that the subject of present of the preposition exists next to the object of the pillow of the preposition while keeping the independency of the subject and the object. To find out the point to differentiate the two prepositions by and beside, we can think of the origin that the word was made. The preposition beside is the combination of the be verb, be, and the noun side. So we can think that the preposition beside can be more descriptive while revealing the fact that the subject of the preposition exists. The next preposition we will study is the preposition alone. The speaker applies the preposition alone to signify the relationship that the subject of the preposition exists in the orientation consistent with the outline that the object of the preposition frames. The subject of the preposition alone is described to follow the outline of the object. Thank you for watching.